Hello. Hope everybody's doing well as we wrap up 2022. My name's Michelle. I'm 48. I used to be a full-time teacher. Now I'm a part-time teacher. So I'm hyper-focused on making money, managing money better, all while not being busy. Because if I'm going to be super busy, then I could just go back to full-time work. So that is not what I want to be. So one of the things that I decided I needed to focus on is like my money behaviors, because so much of my debt is connected to that. And if you've seen some of my other videos, then you know that the thing that is really standing in the way of me being able to continue to work part-time until I retire in 10 years would be my credit card debt. And so I have to work out a plan to pay that off, but then also create some sustainable systems so that, of course, I don't get back in credit card debt. I decided to change my background because I've been watching some people and I was like, I have a room with some books in the background. This actually is one of my closets. When we had to teach from home, I turned this into like my little home office. So that's where I am right now. So this video is going to talk about 4 things that I am not buying in 2023 because I see that I am queen of nickel and dime. And I don't know if y'all are like me, but I mean, I can spend 5 here, 2 here, 3 here, 10 here, 20 here, 30 here. Before you know it, you're like, how did I just spend $400? So I paused and I looked at what do I spend money on? And I'm doing these, I'm going to kind of do a countdown. So number 4 is books. Y'all, I like books. But I spend a lot of money on books that I'm not even reading. So I've decided for 2023, I am not buying any books. Either I will get them from the library or I will use the books, read the books I already have. I actually ended up spending $40 probably 3 months ago because where I live, I'm in the United States, and our libraries are connected to your counties. And so I work and live in the same county. And so what that means is that's the only library card that I get for free. And so the bigger library, though, I can't get that for free. And it's only $40. And I was like, you know what? Let me just pay the $40 because for $40, that's really like the cost of 2 books. I could have access to an unlimited amount of books for a year. So that's what I've decided to do to kind of help me with that. I also wanted to set myself up for success though. So what I decided I would do is for Christmas, I bought myself one thing in each of these categories. So that way I kind of have it. I don't need to buy it all next year. So my book that I just bought, I'm waiting for it to arrive, but I'll put like a picture up in the corner. It's called Profit First. I've really been focusing on my teacher pay teacher business. And I've seen some other teacher sellers talk about that book. And because, I'm slowly shifting my mind and realizing that I am a small business owner, I want to read that so that I can maximize my time. So that's the first, or I guess in order of importance, number 4, no books. Number 3 is nail polish. So at the start of this year, I decided that, I wanted to channel my feminine energy. And I always think nail polish is so like girly. And so I went out and I bought nail polish. Actually, I'm like in love with OPI, but I only get it from Marshall. So it's, like $5, but I counted up how many bottles I have. I probably have at this point at least 10 bottles. And well, technically that's like, maybe the cost of like a couple manicures. It still will add up eventually if I just keep at it, because that's money that I technically could be using to pay down my credit cards. So I went out and bought some nail polish. This is the color that I got. It's like an orange. I really, really wanted like this blue, but they don't have it. So my birthday's in November. So I figure if I can make it that long without buying any nail polish, that might be like my birthday present to myself. It's like this, almost like a seafoam nail polish. The other thing is notebooks. Maybe that's just a teacher in me. I really do have 50 bajillion notebooks. I have like 1 subject, 3 subject, 5 subject, little ones, big ones, spiral on the side, spiral at the top, postbound. I mean, ridiculous. So I was like, I'm not buying another notebook, but this is what I bought I figured this is going to be my notebook. Isn't it cute? I don't even really know what I'm going to do with this yet, but it's so cute. And it was only like $1. I think I got it from Family Dollar. And I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to get this. And last but not least, pins. Can you see this? Look how cute this is. Like, I don't know if you can see like the glitter like moving back and forth, but it's so cute. Well, the reason why I bought that pen, I love pens, but I figured because like, I get so anxious when I have to do my budget, y'all, because I know I'm short. Like every single month, I'm short. And I was like, you know what? Bringing this anxious, nervous energy is not going to help me come up with creative ideas on how to stop living off of credit cards and to create more money and manage more money. Like all that negative energy around this is not going to help. So I decided if I bought this cute little pen, that when I do my budget, and y'all probably can't really see it close up, but let me see if I moved it up. See how you can see? Yeah, how cute is that? Isn't that cute? But it's relaxing. So like literally as I'm sitting there doing my budget, trying to figure out what can I spend less on or what can I cut out or where can I make more money? It's just relaxing to see a little glitter going back and forth. And I end up buying, I already had one, so I bought 3 more because I was like, all right, that should get me through the year. So that way I don't have to like go out and buy another one. So those are the 4 things that I'm not going to buy this year. And my hope is that I will be able to kind of reduce my monthly spending because I have so many of those things already that I could totally use them up. And I feel like, a lot of our money issues, good or bad, are connected to our behavior. It's not about like how much you make. It really is about how much you spend and just kind of why you spend money. And so I want to be more cognizant moving forward of like, am I buying things that I already have? Because I have 50 bajillion notebooks. Now, if it really is something that I need, then no doubt I will buy it. But in those 4 categories, there is not going to be a book that I just need in 2023 that I can't live without. I can wait for it at the library. Of course, the library teaches you patience because you have to, kind of wait. But I mean, I have enough books to kind of fill in the gap while I wait. And with my nail polish thing, I just feel like, those little purchases add up because you're kind of like, well, it's only $5 because it's like $4.99, but it's like only $5. But then when you think like 5 of them, that's $25. 5 more, that's $50. And because I really want to get laser focused on my debt repayment plan, I really want to pay attention to, this is not forever. Like, no, it's not like I'm never going to buy nail polish again or books or notebooks or pens. But right now I want to really like target all my money towards paying down this debt. I don't have a goal like some people where they're like, oh, I want to pay off X amount of dollars this year. That's not my goal. My goal for this upcoming year is to get my minimum payments under $1,000. Because I feel like that would just give me a little bit more of a buffer in my budget and that every month I'm not like $2,000 short. Now we'll see how that goes. I did do the tough thing yesterday, which maybe I'll share it and put it in a video, but I actually sat down, I listed out my 9 credit cards, the interest rate, how much I pay on them, and really mapped out, okay, how am I going to pay this off? My strategy is probably like a combination of a variety of things, but my main focus is really my credit utilization. And I know, I don't know if I've heard anybody's method that way. I know Debt Snowball tends to do the lowest balance, and then Debt Avalanche tends to do the highest interest rate. But oh my God, my interest rates are crazy on all 9 cards. They're in the 20s. So, it's only a difference of a couple, one might be like 27, one's 26. They're all ridiculous. But I felt like if I worked on credit utilization, just as a small win for me, I could see, I like to use Credit Karma just to check how I'm doing. And I feel like if I focus on credit utilization, then that way it'll show that I'm making progress. Because I know that, of course, sometimes with debt repayment, it's kind of like when you're trying to get in shape, like you really don't see results early on. You just have to keep believing it's working. And it's almost like a compounding effect, because then when you start seeing results, like you really start seeing results, and then when you see results, then you want to do it more, the whole nine. So I feel like if I can at least see my credit utilization rate going down, that would make me feel better. I've also decided that I do better when I automate things and when I keep it simple and when I have a really simple strategy. And so I've kind of paused on some of the things I was saving up for. And originally I was definitely trying to create a habit of saving. I think I've gotten into that habit. I have my little sinking funds in my savings accounts. But I've decided that I opened like three sinking funds yesterday. I used Capital One because then you can have all those different accounts. I tried Ally, but the reason why I didn't like Ally is because technically Ally is not separate accounts. It's separate buckets. So you still have to kind of, make sure you're kind of pulling from the right bucket, and Capital One's just easier because it really is completely separate accounts. So anyway, I created three sinking funds yesterday. One for my HOA because it's only 4 times a year, and it's actually super reasonable. It's like $160 every 4 months. And then I did one for, I have short-term disability that I've had like for years. That's only 4 times a month. 4 times a year is quarterly also. So I created a sinking fund for that. And then I created a sinking fund for the dog's vet bill. Because even though that is not like super expensive, it's like $200, but it would be way easier for me just to save $20 every month than to try to pull $200 from my budget in October to cover it. So I did those three. And then what I did with my savings is I kept them, but I just lowered the savings amount by like a lot. I had started off with like saving 50 in like a couple categories, and I decreased it to 25. Then I decreased it to like 12.50. Now it's like literally like, I think I decreased it to $10, $5 or $10, just to kind of keep me in the habit, but really remembering that the goal right now is to pay off these credit cards. And so I've decided any money that is extra, so to speak, will go towards debt repayment. More specifically, any money that I make on Teacher Pay Teachers, which now they've changed their name to just TPT. So any money that I make on TPT, I am going to put on my credit card. That way I don't have to think like, what am I going to do with that money? And I just think it will help me, because as my TPT store continues to grow and I keep seeing like this month I made more than last month, hopefully next month I'll make more than this month, that will be on top of, my minimum payment. That will hopefully bring that down. So I hope you found that helpful. Feel free to type in the comments if you're giving up anything in 2023, even if you're just giving it up on a quarterly basis, just to see if you can kind of rein in your spending and be more intentional about what you're spending your money on. Well, until later, I hope everybody has a great day. And I must say a disclaimer about my shirt, y'all. I really do love anime, and I love wearing black. And so I bought this shirt. I know the characters from Demon Slayer. Embarrassed to say, do I know who this is? I do not. I keep saying I'm gonna watch it. My students told me I need to try to watch it on Crunchyroll and not Netflix, because I tried Netflix and I couldn't get into it. And I'm almost done with Attack on Titan, and I did the same thing. I couldn't get into it on Netflix, but I loved it on Crunchyroll. So one of my goals is definitely to actually watch Demon Slayer. I think it's only 2 seasons, so that I at least know who's on my shirt. But until later, I hope everybody has a happy new year and a restful rest of this year, just a time to reflect and pause and just be still and grateful. And as always, be grateful.